Hey everybody, it's Stuart Smith with smallcapvoice.com, and we are dialed in for another online business briefing today with our client Mitesco. Mitesco Incorporated is traded currently on the OTC under the ticker symbol MITI, and I say currently for good reason. You'll find out why later in this interview. We are speaking today once again with Brian Villania. He is the general manager of Centcore, which is a very impressive division of Mitesco. But we're going to talk about Mitesco themselves, and we're going to do that with Brian. Brian, welcome to the show, and thank you so much for making time for us once again.
Thank you so much for having me. I appreciate it.
Absolutely. Brian, we know we've been surrounded this year in 2025 with headlines of companies taking on digital asset divisions. Some people want to call it a Bitcoin treasury strategy. There's been different nuances and different ways to do this. Mitesco, however, is uniquely positioned because of its business units and divisions to really take advantage of this. So I want to talk to you as someone immersed in this industry on what your take is to the benefits of these strategic moves that we see companies making and potentially Mitesco making.
Yeah, I think Mitesco has built a vertically integrated digital infrastructure and software platform that few small cap public companies possess. At the core is our Centcore data center. That's our Florida-based high density compute facility capable of supporting demanding workloads such as AI model training, blockchain transaction validation, and Bitcoin or other digital asset mining. But because Mitesco has and controls this infrastructure, it can generate recurring revenue from third-party clients while also using the same capacity to power its own software products. So I think this strategy that we have is different from the typical OTC tech companies that you mentioned that rent servers or rely on cloud providers. Having the compute stock lets us keep margins in-house, scale profitably, and move quickly into new high-growth digital markets. It also means the company can bundle infrastructure with its own applications, creating a one-stop, if you will, solutions to partners and end users.
Okay, there's a lot of great points that you brought up there. I mean, first off, we talked right at the outset of the vertical integration, which is going to allow you to control these margins even better. And we know the Bitcoin margins are massive. Now, we all have to note the risk because I've been invested in these companies since late 2024, seen dramatic run-ups. Bitcoin pulled back. It can affect the stock that way. Bitcoin runs as it is now.
Right.
It affects the stock positively. But as you just pointed out, with Centcore, Mitesco has sort of a, to use a poker analogy, an ace in the hole. Is that fair?
Yeah, absolutely. Right. And adding a digital asset mining and treasury strategy would materially change Mitesco's profile, right? The company could immediately pursue an uplisting to NASDAQ because one, it would gain institutional grade recurring revenue from compute and mining. And we know that public markets reward companies that combine infrastructure plus digital asset exposure. Then it also creates a compelling growth narrative around blockchain and AI convergence. Historically, we've seen, and you've seen this more than I have, Stuart, companies that have combined core technology infrastructure with digital asset operations have experienced significant revaluation once they reach a senior exchange. And based on similar uplisting and crypto infrastructure stories, we believe we could move to at least $4 per share range quickly. And after executing this strategy with long-term upside into the double-digit range, if the company successfully scales recurring mining compute revenue and attracts broader institutional investors.